Fringe! This show is now called Fringe Shit. It's devoted to everything Fringe. I love Fringe. Let's watch Fringe. Every single episode is going to be devoted to every single episode of Fringe. Today we're going to start with the pilot episode, directed by Alex Graves, and also written by J.J. Abrams. Hello?
Matt, I fucked up.
Don't care.
Hello?
And so it stars Anna Torab. It also stars the great John. You bitch. How far away were you?
2 miles.
You got here pretty quick.
I know.
How are you still standing?
I don't know.
David? What do you want? What?
I wanted to talk about a movie I watched today.
Oh.
So, we watched a movie today.
Dracula 3000.
Infinite Darkness. One of those is the correct title.
Sure.
Somewhere.
Sure. Let's go with that.
Yeah. Maybe. Alright. What is this movie about? It's about Dracula in space.
It's Jason X, but Dracula.
Yeah. In all the shitty ways.
But you know what? Jason X had a bigger budget than this movie.
It probably did.
Yeah.
Okay, so shall I just give a basic plot?
Yeah.
Alright. Crew is on a spaceship or something. They're transporting some cargo of some coffins or something. They end up awakening one or something that had
Or something.
Dracula's dust in it. And they
No, it's dust. It's the earth from his homeland that he sleeps
All
in.
I know is that Coolio, he's in this, we'll get to him, dropped some of his blood in it, and all of a sudden Dracula was around. He then went around turning everybody into vampires, and they thought the only way to kill him right off, because of the ancient lore that they managed to discover about these unknown vampire creatures, was going into sunlight and killing him. So they start piloting the ship towards these twin suns, and I guess something went screwy somewhere along the way, and they crash into twin suns, killing everybody on the ship. And the captain is a descendant of Van Helsing. Because he had to be. Alright. Where should we go? I think characters is the best way to go first.
We always go characters.
We always do. So let's talk about Captain Van Helsing. He's bland.
What character?
He's so bland.
There's no characters here. I mean, it's like watching the fucking Phantom Menace again. Like, there's no characters here. Like,
I mean, they're there, obviously, but they're not doing anything.
Well, the characters don't do anything, but at the same time, there's nothing in their personalities that would put them to do anything.
Captain Van Helsing, he's your stereotypical the macho, brave guy.
I don't know. He's trying to be Han Solo. He'll never be Han Solo.
He is. But the one thing I wanted to point out is, this is just a little nitpick about the actor. I feel like if you want to be that guy, if you want to like command respect, you want to do something like that, you have to either have the intelligence to do it, or the sheer testosterone. He did not have the sheer intelligence, and he certainly wasn't the most masculine person on that ship.
No.
So I don't know why he got the role, except that he was handsome and could speak decent English.
To be honest, actually, I have absolutely no idea why this movie was made.
Oh, the movie's a whole no.
Well, I mean, like, the thing is, usually what drives schlocky B movies is that there's an aspect of the demographic of the audience that they'll aim the product toward. That's where a lot of these cheesy, like, slasher movies and whatnot are directed toward. This movie was there really that big of an audience pool for Coolio to be in a Dracula movie?
I guess we should jump into Coolio next, shouldn't we?
Let's just jump into one. Let's go to Dracula.
Oh, yeah.
The title character doesn't show up until about maybe halfway through the movie.
Yeah. They certainly get the in space.
Bad.
They get the in space for sure.
They've got the whole popped collar, whole Dracula dead and loving it type deal. I mean,
and basically, think of the most stereotypical Dracula that's not scary. Because there are a lot of scary Dracula. Think of the one that's stereotypical but not scary. That's what shows up here. He's got like the collar up to his forehead and the like white vest.
I shall kill you.
The cape behind him.
Oh yeah, guess what? His name is Orlok.
You were saying something. I don't actually know this.
Count
What is it?
Orloff is the name that they used in Nosferatu when they had to get around the copyrights of Dracula because the Bram Stoker would not allow, the estate would not allow them to make a movie of it, so they had to change the names and shit around.
I can't imagine why they would not allow this movie to be made. Moving on ever so quickly after that, I want to reference just real quick. Oh wait, characters. We need to stay on track. I want to talk about Blonde Girl. I know we can get into Coolio. Blonde Girl was Blonde Girl. You know who she was? She was Bishop.
She was tits and ass Bishop.
Yep. She was the sex appeal, and she was the android on the ship that nobody knew was an android.
She was the Winona Ryder.
Yeah. So yeah,
she was the Ian Holm, giving lots of spoilers for all the androids and every alien movie with
Harrison Ford.
Bruce Willis is a ghost.
So no, she her actress.
Well, let's move on into actors.
Well, hold on,
because we're kind of
we're moving between characters and actors.
Because there really isn't any characters left.
All right, well, hold on.
There's
Coolio.
The stereotypes.
Coolio, we need
the
to
druggie.
137 is his character name.
87. 187.
I don't fucking care. No.
Now they say it's because that is what his IQ was, but also I remember Zach saying that it. Maybe it's also, I think that's the code for a downed police officer.
Yes.
I'm not sure how accurate that is. Don't quote me on it.
It wasn't us who said it.
Yeah, but the thing is like either or, it's stupid.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the fact that this guy was a super genius, that Coolio was a super genius.
Space weed.
Straight from Comptonian.
Yeah, Rastaflaka flame, motherfucker.
Moving on to the last, two more characters, I guess. One of those is Marie from Breaking Bad. She's not notable. She's a bitch.
She looks like Marie from Breaking Bad.
Yeah, she's not actually her.
Yeah, but she fucking looks like her.
And she's very uptight and anal about everything. It's just, nobody.
And I don't give a shit that she dies.
She disappears within the first half an hour. The next time you see her, she's a vampire. It's like, okay.
And she doesn't do anything either because she gets staked repeatedly.
She does. This
girl gets penetrated.
The last character is Humvee. He is the big black guy.
We've seen this guy both of us have seen him in one other film. I don't know if you've seen him in any other movies.
Dark Knight.
That was like, yeah. We've seen him in The Dark Knight. He was the big guy on the boat who takes. You
can tell them I took it by force.
That was pretty scary. Actually, it's pretty intimidating. But in this movie, I'm sorry. All right, the one constant.
This is moving over to actors. So.
It is. So we are moving over to actors because it's the last character anyway. Because all he was is he's the tank.
He is. He shoved a pool cue through metal. He's that good. The actor who plays him, he's got something up with his eye. And I don't know how it happened. I'm not sure. I'm not trying to be offensive toward the actor, but at the same time, though, every single time I kept seeing him, it got worse. So it's like, yeah, we have a picture, and and every single time that came up, it was like, what's wrong with your face? Red Letter Media, we love you. All right.
It is. I'm like, he's not horrible, but at the same
No,
time, he's not good.
He's a fine actor, but it's like that's what I can describe.
Fine actor.
It's the mole guy from Austin Powers. If you have just something physical that's taken away from it, you can be perfect at everything you're doing. But that one thing is going to be like, there's something going on here. You're doing a great job, but you might want to get that checked.
Just maybe.
But no, he's a fine actor for the most part. I mean, it's a bad script, don't get us wrong. But he's a fine actor.
It's pretty bad.
Let's move on to Coolio's acting.
Coolio!
So Coolio's in this movie. I don't know why.
This is his acting.
Yeah.
No.
I am a vampire!
Stop wasting bullets!
Before, I can't even remember what he was before he turned into a vampire, but once he turned into a vampire, he was an over-the-top machine.
He enjoyed himself.
Oh my god, it was gloriously bad.
And all the names they have for the fucking systems and whatnot.
Well, hold on, that's more than just writing.
I know,
Alright, hold
but Comptonian.
Comptonian. Fucking those Comptonian hoes. No. The actress for Marie, as we said, she was there.
She's Marie.
Same thing I think can really be said about the blonde actress and Van Helsing. They were both just there.
They're cardboard cutouts. They're very superficial. They don't do much.
As for Dracula,
He...
as an actor, he was chewing the set entirely. He was just like, "Hello! Have you seen my collar? It's here!"
It's quite pimping. Quite pimping, indeed.
But how was he as a Dracula? Not just in a role.
He wasn't on the screen long enough for me to get any
wasn't.
impression of him. I mean, like...
All you really saw of him was running around in the hallways and then eventually staring down a person.
And he's got his arm...
Yeah, his arm got chopped off. And that was the last you saw of him.
Yeah.
He wasn't killed flat out.
No, he wasn't.
His arm just got chopped off.
And also, Dracula can't open a frickin' door.
Well, wasn't there a thing? Isn't there a thing in vampire lore that they can't be let in unless you're invited?
Only if they're outside.
True, I'll give you. Yeah, this is just between two rooms.
They're apparently in a ship where they are in a ship. They are definitely
They're in a ship. It's just not a spaceship.
It's a naval vessel.
It had like the big turn.
Yeah, it's got bulkhead doors and whatnot. So
good for them for shooting in something besides like an apartment building.
Hey, I mean it works.
Yeah,
it can work. It can work. I don't know if it worked for them. I mean they did it for Star Trek.
It definitely. I think it worked for the most part. Let's just move on to like locations and stuff. It worked for the most part. It definitely wasn't. I mean, how else are you supposed to make it look like a spaceship? Especially like this isn't like your futuristic like open the pod bay door sort of shit. This is your run of the mill. Like if you had to imagine,
is like Firefly type ships.
Yeah, if I had to imagine in the future like a meteor driller, like an asteroid driller that's just like looking for stuff. This is how I'd imagine it. It's not high tech. It's just getting the job done. And
it still has a steam boiler.
Yeah. And I mean, you
have to hit it with a wrench.
Exactly. They didn't have any problems in the way of like obvious natural lighting where it shouldn't have been. All of it was pretty artificial lighting. I want to move real quick into the writing because then I want to get into something else afterwards.
I don't know who wrote this. We
Same.
didn't really look into exactly.
We didn't want to see anything about this film.
I think I looked up who directed it and whatnot. I didn't leave enough of an impression for me to like say anything about it. The movie was just tiring.
It was.
And I mean, like, it's not nearly as bad as anything we did last season.
No.
Oh shit. Our standards are so low.
It was. But no, the thing about this movie, I think, is it lacked the focus on what Dracula should be. It wanted more for... The exact thing is, it just ripped off Aliens. It was just Aliens. That's all it was. They may as well have had the blonde android girl say, "Stay away from him, you bitch." Because that... it
pretty much was...
Oh my god!
Alien.
Oh my god! We completely forgot a character. Wheelchair guy.
Ha! Roll for die. We're all gonna die.
Oh my God.
We're all gonna die. We're all gonna die. We're all gonna die. We're all gonna die. We're all gonna die.
That's all he said.
We're all gonna die.
That's all he said the
We're
whole
all gonna
time.
die.
At the beginning, he was somewhat confident. He was like, okay, well, here's this thing about vampires, and here's how you kill them. Real wood is used in pool cues, even though it's not used anywhere else. So you can kill them with the pool cues.
The future!
But, yeah, this is the year 3000. Dracula 3000 is in 3000.
Apparently, also, the 3000 was an add-on. It wasn't the original title.
It was like Dracula, Infinite Darkness.
3000. If you look at the... Oh, my God, the fucking title sequences...
Alright, hold on, we'll get to that real quick, though. The character, the wheelchair guy, after, like, the halfway point, after, I think, Coolio died. Also, real quick, I know I'm jumping a little bit. I'm trying to keep away from that. Can we show what Coolio looks like as a vampire?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's go.
That's Coolio as a vampire.
Ain't he funny?
He's just dandy.
He's just a delight.
And that was the first time you saw him as a vampire. He only gets funnier as the movie progresses. But not in a good funny. The funny isn't like, Coolio, just shut the fuck up. God.
Go back to your gangster's paradise.
Yeah. How is he too serious to not be parodied? But no, the wheelchair guy, after Coolio died, he all of a sudden, for some reason, realized they're going to die.
Yep.
So what does he do? We're all going to die. We're all going to die. I mean, you might survive, but I'm in a wheelchair. I'm going to die. We're all 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 going to die.
And when he does die, he turns into a vampire. He gets killed like the quickest.
Yeah. Literally, he's asleep. He's like... And then
I'm guessing he was trying to fake him out and whatnot, and then they just stabbed the crucifix into his back.
Happened, you know. He literally had no impact on the plot,
happened.
except to explain what vampires were, because nobody knows what a crucifix is.
Well, he also could fly. He flew the ship.
Oh, he was the pilot?
Yeah.
Oh, I always thought the captain did that.
I think that too.
They both kind of died like one right after another.
He's the one who knew how to plot the course to the sun.
He did.
So.
When they messed that up, then they had to fly into the suns. But they did, and then they exploded after having numerous sex encounters.
They apparently would have sex for 12 hours.
Good for them. Nice way to die.
That's a bit more than double my limit, but...
I guess I'm going to have to explain this real quick. The android, even though she was a narc in this particular
because
you
had to add this bit.
She was originally a pleasure bomb. And so as they realized they were going to die...
I bet she vibrates. I wonder if she has several different settings and whatnot. It's like low, medium, and high.
As they realized they were going to die...
Gyration.
Shut up. As they realized they were going to die, she explained this to the tank, Humvee, who was the only one left alive. And she's like, you know, I was a pleasure bomb. He's like, damn, I love this. And he picked her up over his shoulder and walked off camera. And then... They're
in the after credit scene too.
Yeah, and the after credit scene is literally just dead booted.
Smack that ass.
And he walks off. And I realized that we forgot one more character. Udo Greer.
Udo Kier. Oh my god, I can't believe he was in this movie. Actually, he really wasn't in this movie.
No.
There's recorded footage of him as supposedly doing archive.
I can't go. This ship needs to die with me because reasons of stuff and things and the responsibility of this stuff.
We need to make sure he doesn't reach the earth.
And then for some reason he died, but Dracula didn't. So I'm not entirely sure what happened. So,
but yet apparently Dracula was in his coffin. He got resurrected by Coolio's blood. I mean, there's no logic in the continuity here, ladies and gentlemen.
No, there isn't. That's the one thing I wanted to bring up, though. The special effects. All of it was pretty much practical effects. Most of the way. However, it turned to special effects in one instance, when they were showing the ship from the outside. Looks like your base is space station satellite. But then they kept on showing.
It's like a Sega CD game!
It's just flying towards two suns. Over and over and over. Until the last time they show it where it's like, two suns. Boom! Freeze frame on the explosion.
I know, they free frame on the green screen explosion.
Obviously special effects
You
wasn't
can't
there.
make this shit up.
It wasn't their strong suit.
You can't make this shit up. You can't do it.
Is there anything else to it? Directing. I really wish I knew who the director was.
There's not really a sense of directing. It's just people just saying, all right, say the lines. Say the
Listen.
lines as zany or as not zany as you want.
I want to know how this got greenlit. Like, who threw money at this saying, yes, I will make my return investment?
People will make anything if it makes money.
But that's just it. I can't imagine people would expect this to make money.
I wouldn't expect fucking Steel to make money, but it did.
I'll give you that. Yeah, I guess there is some sort of audacity in Dracula 3000.
I mean, they made Dracula
Yes,
2000. Many people might have thought that was an ongoing sequel. Alright, to be fair, and this has nothing to do with it, I actually like Dracula 2000, so suck it. But at the same time, I still... and also, Dracula 2 Ascension is a guilty pleasure, and Dracula 3...
What about the Gary Oldman one? What one was that?
I love that one, though. That one was done by Francis Ford Coppola in 92. Except there's two things wrong with that movie, and they're two people. And their names are Winona Ryder and Keanu Reeves.
Oh, that's what you were making reference to. Okay. Gotcha. Anyway, so, last thing we really need to make sure we talk about, and we can jump into other stuff. Yes, we realize that's done now. Moving on. The naming of things.
It's just Ians and Owens and
No.
shit added on to real words.
Exactly. Well, not even that. They take other sci-fi things and slap the mild changes onto it. Or, just because Coolio, they said Compton, except with an Ian at the end. So, Comptonian. But here's the thing. What was the one? It was like, we have to get to this system. What's it called? The Kessel-Runnian system, or whatever. If you know the Kessel Run, it's mentioned in Star Wars A New Hope, as Han Solo made it in 12 parsecs, or whatever.
Brags.
Yeah.
You dumb bragging.
That's like #1 thing. And I'm pretty sure you made one, they said at one point something that sounded very similar to Alderaan.
Yeah.
So,
something like that. It's like when they reference Massive Dynamic in 1313. You don't do it.
I really like French. So yes, that was possibly one of the worst ones they had there. So all in all, do you think final thoughts now? Or
Yeah.
We, okay.
I mean, like, the truth of the matter is, like, this movie, I think this movie was shot on film, which, I mean, this movie was shot in what? I can't even remember when.
I want to say 2004 sounds familiar.
The correct answer will be on the title.
Somewhere, wherever YouTube currently has the title, look there.
But the thing is, this movie seems so goddamn dated. The movie's lazy, and if the movie really had a lot of effort put into it, then you put the effort into all the wrong things.
Here's what
Because
they would have put the effort into. Where in there?
no, maybe it was the location scout.
They had a cousin who knew how to get onto a Navy boat. I feel like that's about it.
I have nothing else. I have nothing
All
else
right.
on this movie.
My final thoughts then. Why Dracula? It barely had him in it, and it felt more like an afterthought. Why 3000? It had nothing to do with the future, except that this thing took up in space. They could have easily made it down in like a submarine, and rather than trying to get to the Twin Suns, they just have to get up to the surface or something. That easily would have worked just
That
as well.
one's already come below.
Okay. Point being,
It's written by Darren Aronofsky.
the last subtitle on this is Infinite Darkness, which at no point in here is there any sort of darkness. Literally,
No, it's pretty bright.
even space itself, they're like, you know how it takes a really long time to get from one star to another? Like, interstellar travel is really fucking hard.
Not anymore.
No.
3,000, man, we got this shit
Ooh,
locked.
6 men on the crew? Yeah, we got it. No,
No
it's,
problem. We do this shit all the time. Kessel Run nothing.
Fuck that. No, and honestly,
12 parsecs.
since
Ha!
half of it,
Do it in 6.
the unit of distance, you stupid fuck. No, it's overall, the fact that the whole film was just basically ripping off Aliens, and I could, and the fact they had to make the captain a Van Helsing descendant, and then he just fucking dies. Why even bother? He's just like, yeah, we're edgy, we killed off Van Helsing. What? It's not edgy, it's stupid. Stop being stupid.
They killed off Van Helsing
You're
in
stupid.
Dracula 2000.
That's exactly probably what it is.
And he was played by fucking Christopher Plummer.
So
You can't outdo Christopher Plummer.
overall, though,
Cunts.
when it comes to this film, don't really watch it. You can keep it on if you want,
If you really want to waste
but no.
the Netflix.
I was gonna say you have a set time limit with this Netflix account until your free trial or paid time period is up. You should not spend even a moment of it watching this. That's my opinion, my unprofessional opinion, and with that, Dracula 3000 can go suck a dick.
Quote that. Dracula 3000 can suck a dick.
Beautiful.
So, David,
Yes.
notice anything different?
No.
Downloaded a new version of iMovie.
Oh, did you? Yeah, I mean, of course you did. It looks like you did a lot. Did you change the credit sequence, right? Something like that?
I don't know. Let's see.
All the bad boys want some more, it's tricky. And girls enjoy, they feel so lucky. Loving it, quits running out.